Namu Myoho Renge Kyo. Namu Myoho Renge Kyo. Namu Myoho Renge Kyo. Now is the time. This moment is the moment for you to express, experience, to know your most brilliant life. All of it. What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for all of that decay and pain and suffering of old age and finally death, so that then you can express your full life? You can go someplace. You can be accepted. What are you thinking? Aristotle. You know Aristotle, Greek philosopher. I'll paraphrase here because I can't quote word for word, and the translators of Greek, ancient Greek, probably couldn't either. But his theory of happiness, if that's a word that you use, a lot of people who practice Buddhism use that as their target word, whatever. Let's just assume happiness is the full expression of your life. No regrets. I am living my best life. All of the rhetoric you can attach to it. You know what I'm talking about, yeah? According to Aristotle, all you have to do is set yourself up a massive goal. A goal that's seemingly unattainable. That's, if I could just do that, everything in my life would be perfect. Yeah? And so Aristotle was saying, if you want to be happy, set yourself up a goal that's seemingly unattainable. And then, if you're a logical human being, if you're a reasonable human being, if you're rational in your thinking, then life becomes easy. Because every choice you make, everything you do, every thought you have is measured against that goal. And if it doesn't take you toward that goal, then you don't do it. Right? All of that onus of decision making, what's right, what's wrong, how. No more trouble, no more anxiety, no more stress. I know where I'm going. And so I'll do this because it takes me toward where I'm going. And every challenge, every thought, every decision you make, and no matter how tough the actual living out of those decisions is, it's a breeze because it's taking you toward your ultimate goal. To Aristotle, that's happiness. To a rational, reasonable mind, that works, yeah? And he even put a proviso in it, a caveat. If one day, one of those decisions you have to act on to get you to that goal becomes so difficult, unlikable, unreasonable, unmotivational, it stops you and you become miserable, the answer is, well, at this stage, wherever it is toward your goal, perhaps you've learned enough about yourself and your life that you need to reevaluate your goal. Not to a lesser goal, Nah, but a different goal. Maybe even a bigger goal. But something, maybe being a ballerina just isn't unreasonable, too unreasonable, you might say, goal. Maybe what's more reasonable is to be a famous performing artist. And maybe I don't know exactly what that looks like, but I know what it feels like. And now, does that change this obstacle that I've run into? Well, yeah, because I can't be 6 foot tall. So, yeah, so I can modify my goal, which then modifies the acts I need to do, my doing. Maybe I need to go back and do some other things that I didn't need to do before. It's all good because now I see my goal. And so I shift and I start doing again. Happiness. It's simple. It's reasonable. So how is Buddhism any different? Buddhism simply says, with every single thought moment, you have thousands and thousands of potentials you can express and experience. Express, experience, kind of two sides of the same coin, yes? And you can make decisions and choices of expression and experience that are miserable. You can just let your karmic freight train go and just wait to see what the experience is and then react. It's a little late. By then you've gone down a path, the default path. Come on, computer, keep up. Sorry. You don't have to wait. You can do it now. You can drive the train, and it doesn't even have to stay on the tracks. Because it's all you. With your mind, you can experience and express everything you want. Right now. Right? When you go to see the doctor, you go to see the doctor. You don't go to visit the waiting room and read 4-month-old magazines. Is that why you go to the doctor? If so, sad. Yeah. You go to the doctor to get fixed. So that you can live your life better. Chant Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting this channel. Thank you for using this channel to solidify your practice. Feel encouraged. Enjoy your practice. Understand that every time you go to your Butsudan and you dust it off and you offer water in the morning, you do all the little things to connect you with that altar, that you're performing your relationship, like going out on a date, like going to the prom, right? You fold the handkerchief, right? You pin the flower, right? You got the clothes, you look your best, and then you face off with your mandala, and you go, let's do this. Myoho Renge Kyo. Boom. Every time you do that, you are living your fullest manifestation of life-affirming energies and tendencies and conditions in your karmic freight train, your momentum. It's happening now. You're doing it. And then you bring that enlightenment into your daily life on earth with others. And you feel it and you know it. And every decision you make seems to be simple. right? Stuff that would normally bother you, you just go, don't need that. I'm going to do this. And I feel supremely confident in doing this because Namo Myo Renge Kyo. And if it burns and crashes, you go, oh, thank you for that. Don't need to go there. Go here. And I'm making an analogy, and I'm saying, whereas Aristotle talked about big life decisions being day-to-day actions that might change over time, we do it in nanoseconds. With Buddhism, we're constantly paving the path to our maximal fulfilled life. We don't even wait around to change our minds. Our life tells us, oh, go that way, not this way. And that doesn't bum us out. It doesn't scare us. It doesn't cause us to go, oh, I failed. No. It says, oh, don't need to go there anymore. I'll go here. It just keeps rolling, which is the nature of all life. It's moving. Are you following it? Are you setting the pace? Are you even anywhere near it? Are you hiding from it? Your life is moving. And this is it. This is your one chance in every moment. Make it the best moment it can be. That's Buddhism. Oh, you practice Buddhism? What's that? What is Buddhism? Living every moment to its highest fulfillment, its experience. Living our best life, if you want to use that rhetoric. Find a way to communicate what you're doing. It'll help you know what you're doing. Every single moment being its most magnificent. Is that magic? No. It's just your mind working. Well, you could say that's magical, but it's not otherness. It's your mind. Drive it. Yeah. Otherwise, your mind just becomes this time receptacle. I don't want my life to be a trash can. This next chapter, which I'm not going to read, but I'll touch on it a little bit. This is Subhakarasimha, the Shingon idea of Buddhism, that he sits down and reinvents, or tries to justify, more accurately, with his disciple Yixing. And it goes into the weeds, my friends. Oh my goodness. As practitioners of the Lotus Sutra, and if you've watched more than a handful of videos on this channel, if you've read your own, on your own, the different Goshos, writings of Nichiren or Tendai, or certainly of Lotus Sutra Buddhism, this next chapter is so beyond ridiculous. This is where he starts talking about not Shakyamuni, but Subhakarasimha and Yixing imbuing Buddhism with this, I don't know what to describe it as. His mantras and mudras, his special whatevers, his incantations, and I mean, all I can say is the people of his time must have been extremely stupid. I'm sorry, foolish. To have, because on the one hand, you can say this leader, this teacher, was an egomaniacal idiot. But how did he become so well known and powerful? He had to have a lot of people who are willing to make him, put him in a position of teacher, leader, respected. So who's at fault here? Some guy who has weird ideas about what he's doing, or the plethora of followers who say, "You're right, I'm doing what you say"? Who's to blame? Is there a blame? Or is this just a manifestation of foolishness in people? What are they driven by? Emotions? Wow, this is crazy shit. If I belong to this, I'll belong to a unique group of people, and we're all doing the same crazy crap, so that makes us better. This is the kind of logic human beings will use. Yeah. It's what creates factions and groups, and they're not reasonable. Their rationale is that if I do something crazy enough and enough other people agree with me doing the same crazy stuff, then together we represent an authority. And we're imbued now, without considering what it is that we're solidifying for ourselves, a superior group. I mean, it's such a twisted application of ego and self, completely disconnected from reality. Oh, wait, we see that all the time, don't we? We see it in the media. We see it in advertising. New and improved. Bull crap. It's the same old stuff. You change the color of the label. We know this. I'm not so sure anymore that we know this. We believe. Oh, the red label stuff, much, much better than the blue label stuff. Really? Did you look at the ingredients? Did you notice that special sleep aid that you're now taking is the allergy medicine you were taking yesterday? And you have 4 different bottles of each on your shelf, but if you look at the ingredients, they're all the same. Why does that one cost $20 and that one $5? Marketing. Wait a minute. That's rational thinking. That's reason. Can't do that. Gotta follow the marketing. So here's Subhakarasimha telling you that if you want to make a mandala, you need to go grab the excrement, the poop, and the pee of a cow before it hits the ground. It's got to be fresh, not off the ground. And then you need to mix it together. I'm telling you, it's right up. I'll read it if you want me to, but it's disgusting. And maybe this is from some past ritual of thousands of years ago, ancient peoples, cleaning the ground, wiping it free of all debris so that they can take their mixture of crap and urine and pave the ground with it. Because if you don't know purification, that's purification right there, my friend. Make yourself a nice big patty in preparation for your mandala. Stop. Really? That's your ultimate enlightenment mandala? Cow shit and piss? Who can read that and go, yeah, I'm in? Oh, but you're saying, yeah, but this was, back in 7th century China. Those people were, they didn't know any better. They were that stupid. Really? Because I'm telling you right now, there's people in Idaho that are that stupid. Sorry, Idaho, I don't mean to impugn. You know what I'm saying. In humanity, there is always a component of, okay. I'm being dramatic, but holy my. I was reading this in preparation for today's video, and I thought, I can't do it. I can't read this. How did he get so many followers? How did he get enough followers that a whole sect of Buddhism became so well known and popular, followed by hundreds and thousands of people, as a sect of Buddhism? Buddhism? Not Buddhism. I make myself laugh. Okay, well, if I'm going to praise you some cow crap, well, let me invent some magic words to make it smell better, first of all. I can't do it. I can't read this sutra. It's embarrassing. There are nuggets of truth here. So, you can see where, oh yeah, I could see that that's the words of the Tathagata. I could see that Shakyamuni said these things, and they're included to justify the poo. But my goodness, when he starts going off on these others, and you do this, and you put the left foot in the air, and you light your own farts so that you can have golden air. I'm making that up, but it's the equivalent. No way did Shakyamuni teach this. And I think this is why Shakyamuni often said, read all of Buddhism, study it all. Because the literal crap like that, it'll just go, what? It's just obvious. This ain't it. But when it speaks to truth, actual practice, that always shines through. And it shines through in myriad different ways for myriad different freight trains of karma, so that each of us, with our tendencies and conditions, can have little lights go on, insights go. I needed this crap lesson to understand how stupid this can get if you're not understanding the practice. Here's a chapter called The Exposition of the Tathagata. See what he says. Thereupon, and we're still having a dialogue with Vajrapani, right? Thereupon the Vajrapani said to the world-honored one, what is Tathagata? What is a Tathagata? What is an honored one among humans? Not a bad question, right? But he's not asking it quite right. We know Tathagata is the amazing process. But the Tathagata amongst humans, we call that Buddha, the world-honored one. Right? There's a separation there, but very few translators capture that. Maybe even in the original languages, it's a difficult subtlety. Tathagata being the experience, Buddha being the perception of the experience in human form, in physical form. Yeah, the sentient mind, which is the only place where you can experience. Now listen to that word, because death equals no experience. There is no experience after your body and brain die. So you don't go somewhere. Your inner spirit doesn't sprout wings and go, wee, let's go to the happy place. The happy place is here and now. And you need to experience it now. Live your full life now. There's no bank account. There's no baggage. It's an experience that's moment to moment, birth, death, birth, death, birth, death, birth, death, birth, death. That is where your enlightenment is. not in some mystical future, not dragged from a mystical past. Your experience right now is everything. Why wouldn't you make it the best possible? What are you waiting for, right? What is called a bodhisattva? What is a perfectly awakened one? Well, it's all key questions, right? O guiding teacher and great Muni. Remember Muni, great sage, knower. I beg you to sever my doubts. Well, after this whole book, and after you've made your cow pie mandala, if you still don't know, that says something about Bodhisattvas of great renown have abandoned their doubting thoughts, will cultivate the Mahayana, the king of practices unsurpassed. So this is Vajrapani. I remembered his name. Then the Bhagavan Vairochana surveyed the entire great assembly and addressed the Vajrapani, saying, "It is excellent, excellent, Vajrapani, that you have asked me about this matter. Lord, Vajrapani, you should listen attentively and consider it carefully as I now explain the path of the Mahayana." And then he spoke in verse. Here's the sermon. Bodhi has the characteristic of empty space and is free from all differentiation. These are the actual words that I've used in 10-year-old videos describing the origins of life, the 3,000 realms in a thought moment. That the formations of everything, the universe itself, and that's you and I. We are an expression of this universe itself. How all of this came about from quiescent energy is a momentary spark of activity. An action implies that there was a will to action, but actually will, volition, the desires don't start till well down the Nidana, right? If you study the 12-link causal chain, the Nidana, even in the Pali literature like Evola, right? Read his book on the, what's it called? The Something of Awakening. But anyway, excellent book on the early sutras and the nature, the construct of Nidana, how things come into being. Just an inclination, a tendency and a condition. The original tendency and condition, the original Buddhahood, enlightenment. The formation happens. The moment, the instant a formation manifests, everything else happens. Because that's a disturbance. It's no longer quiescent. Within all this quiescence, suddenly there's a... And the moment there's that, there's curiosity about what that is. There's precipitous behavior that either gloms on or maybe it just dissipates and goes, ooh, quiescent again. It's not a guarantee that just because there's some rub, some energetic blip, that a universe will occur. It's a fast agglomeration of reactions to that initial blip, spark. And from that, all of this quiescent energy suddenly starts to create this bubble of time-space. And all of its potentials, all of its unlocked potentials of agglomeration, expression, they begin to manifest. Poof, universe. And as the universe continues to express itself in new ways, because new properties arise and new conditions arise and new tendencies arise, and it just keeps going and multiplying until finally it makes such complex agglomerations of energy that there starts to be self-replicating energies that just take off on their own. They don't really need the energy of the initiation of the universe. They're just creating their own. Life begins. All of it is life, but life as we experience it, like in cells, right? In bacteria, in DNA, so on and so forth. It is excellent that you've asked me about this. You should listen attentively. I now explain the path of Mahayana. You could equate the path to be the equation that sends you from that original spark through all of its manifestations to now being a sentient mind that can experience it. I now know life, and I'm expressing it to its most life affirming. My obeisance, my homage to this process called the universe, as expressed through my karmic, my energetic expression, manifestations. Yeah? Bodhi has the characteristic of empty space and is free from all differentiation. So Bodhi, this experience, this Buddha-ness of the mind, perceives the energy of all things. When you perceive the energy of all things, nothing separates them. Everything is of the same origin, and therefore there is no possessing, losing, fear, accruing. It's just expression of the whole, of which we are a sentient being witnessing this. One who wishes to seek that Bodhi is called a bodhisattva. This human physical expression of energy that emerges a conscious mind to witness that very process, that's a bodhisattva. Provided that you're wishing to, you're spending your energy to, you're committing yourself to, you have conviction and resolve to experience the whole truth, not be mired in delusions and baubles, but actually experience your life, the truth of it. One who has accomplished the 10 stages has fully mastered the tenfold freedom. These are all different dissections in previous Buddhist sutras about how to perceive this mind and what it is to be. Realizes that dharmas are empty and illusion-like, knows that these dharmas are all the same. So here's that difficulty with the word dharma. Yes, it's a teaching, but it's not really. It's a shared expression of ways of energy. And that ultimately those ways of energy are not graspable, they're just witnessable. That's why they're empty and illusion-like, although they are real, like the force attracting or repelling two magnets. It's there. You may not see it. You can't grab it. But you can experience it. You can know it. The Dharma of electromagnetism. There you have it. But ultimately, they're all the same. They're all forces and actions built of energy, and understands mundane destinies is on that account called a perfectly awakened one. Understands, in other words, that all of this world, this physical world, of which we only perceive about 5% of, if you're to believe astrophysicists and cosmologists, that most of it, we just don't have a clue how it works. But we know it's there. Could that be a dharma? Moving on. That all of this that we experience, destinies, is on that account called a perfectly awakened one. When you realize this, you are a perfectly awakened one. What's that another word for? Bodhi. Buddha. So Buddha is a mind state, just been described right here, of a person, or you might say a personage, right? Because our ego, our names, our hair color, all of that stuff is really just a representation that exists to manifest the mind. Can you describe what your mind looks like? No. But this apparatus that emerges it, oh yeah, we can define that. Like a Buddha, like a Bodhisattva. It's just a choice of terms, yeah? One who realizes that dharmas have a characteristic akin to empty space and are non-dual and of only one characteristic, expression, and has accomplished the 10 powers of wisdom of a Buddha is on that account termed a Sambuddha, an embodiment of Buddha, an emergent mind in this apparatus. All different ways of saying the same thing. One who has destroyed ignorance with only wisdom and possesses self-realized wisdom, your personal gateway, your Gohanzan, to the eye of Buddha, the mind of realization, your path, your specific path to that same over abundant, over core understanding, witnessing, whose own nature is dissociated from speech, is on that account called the Tathagata. This is the breakaway. The oneness of experience of this entire life, although through each human is individually experienced through our own path, our Buddha mind experiences dissociated from speech. That realization, that's Tathagata. Not bad. A short description, a short chapter. Useful. Those words I can accept as Shakyamuni's. The cow pie mandalas, get out of here. Get out of town, as they would say. Now we get into the mundane and supramundane Homa rituals. I can't. I think we've gotten everything out of this Vairochana craziness. I don't think there's anything else of value in here. But don't let me stop you from reading it. I just can't tolerate reading such absolutely abhorrent. Wow, how this guy got the merit he did. To this day, I believe there's Shingon temples. I don't know. I'd have to research that. It's frightening. It's frightening to think that people would be convinced by these, I don't know. It's just totally unrational. All right. Can we read something of more value? I have a little collection of Tendai translations here. Some of this stuff gets pretty technical, talking about lineage and who gets what and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, that's kind of boring. I enjoy Buddhism as a living, actual practice for each of us to attain our maximal expression, right? Happiness, whatever you want to call it. And that's why we're practicing Buddhism. To modify our collection of energy so that we focus our life on its maximal potentials, its life-affirming potentials, and the negative crap that's in there just gets filtered out, modified, lessened, so that we can just enjoy life, this amazing experience. The bookwork about how I translate this document to so-and-so and how he then takes that, bookwork. Maybe there's some accountants out there watching this video. I'm not talking down to you, but I'm saying, the beans are not life. Counting the numbers is not life. You may enjoy doing that, and that's a part of your life, but it's certainly not the full expression of your life, yeah? So, yeah, I'm not tremendously excited by the documentation of this kind of thing. Well, you know what? Maybe we've talked enough overreaching tropes. I have to investigate that book a little bit more. I actually thought it was a different book I was looking for. I don't see it at the moment. I will be better prepared tomorrow. I thought I needed to talk about this Vairochana Sutra, though, and I needed to talk about where Shakyamuni's words end and Subhakarasimha and Yixing's abortion begins, and it happened a lot quicker than I thought it would. I thought we'd get a little deeper into the sutra before he suddenly went mental. But there it is. Subhakarasimha and Yixing turning Buddhism into some kind of magical, primitive ritual. And I guess for a lot of people, that still has some appeal. To me, it's a denial of reality, yeah? And Buddhism is the complete opposite of that. It's a complete focus on reality. That's why we chant, Namo Myoho Renge Kyo, let me perceive quintessentially what is happening in life, the energy of life. Let me manifest it to its fullest potential. That's why we're Buddhists, right? Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Thank you for being Buddhist. Thank you for your practice. Thank you for using these resources, right? Getting yourself a proper mandala, buying the books. That supports this channel tremendously. Thank you. Those of you on Patreon, my patrons, our patrons, right? Or using PayPal. Every cent that comes in helps to support the connection to the internet, the equipment, my time is about experiencing Buddhism and sharing Buddhism. I'm not looking for any gains out of this. My gain is enlightenment. My gain is this practice. My gain is sharing this practice with you. So I'm a happy person. Thank you for making this possible. In the meantime, please take care of your health, right? Be kind to yourself. Keep your practice strong. Keep studying. Let me know if there's something in particular that you feel like you're curious about or think you might need to know. I'll research it if I don't already have research. I've been doing this for well over 40 years now. So chances are I may have to dust it off, but I'm sure I have a book or a white paper or something that will help me delve into it so we can talk about it, right? And in the meantime, I will be researching my own stuff to see what inspires me to talk about and share it with you in the next video. Bye for now.